Ay, ay, sorry.
Mr.
Sorry,
Chairman.
Senator Pia Cayetano is online. Hindi kita na acknowledge kanina pa. Andiyan ka pala. Ma'am, you have the floor.
Yes.
Unahin muna natin si Senator Pia Cayetano. Go ahead, Your Honor, Senator Pia Cayetano, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Magandang hapon na. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to give a very short intervention, no, for the consideration of our esteemed resource persons. Many of whom I know are learned men. Most are men yata, yung spokesperson natin sa mga DND. Sana po magdala din kayo ng babaeng spokesperson para may gender voice din tayo. But good afternoon po sa lahat ng resource persons natin. Mr. Chairman, let me go straight to the points I'd like to raise, no? I've been studying the bills, and as you know, I joined you in the first hearing last Congress, if you recall. I've been studying these bills, and I note that the foundation, the bills have their foundation and history in way back in the original ROTC. I don't know if it was a law or mandate that goes back in 1912. No, Senator JV mentioned this in his explanatory note. And as I review the different bills, it seems to me that it is still premised on that narrative. Yung bang turn of the century where the Filipinos are bearing the Filipino people are their human selves are putting their lives at stake to defend their country. Literally, yung katawan nila ang human shield, no? And of course, our chairman and our colleagues here who have a military background can know more about that than me, di ba? From bow and arrows to shotguns to propeller planes that were dropping bombs. I'm talking about world wars na naging jets na, naging nuclear war na, and now we talk about chemical warfare and cyber attacks and the like. So I humbly submit that these bills do not represent those realities. When I read the bills, of course, you will not see anything there that talks specifically about marching on the field and all that, but it seems to be a very physical endeavor, no? That's why apparently there's an exception for those with special needs, which was actually pointed out by the representative from the National Youth Commission, no? I'm all for physical activity, you know that. I've done marathons, I've done Ironmans, triathlons. I'm all for physical activity. I believe a healthy body goes hand in hand with a healthy mind. But if we are truly trying to address these existential threats that we need to face, to me, this would be some of the followings. Now, these existential threats to me are food security. I need not go into details, but just the lengthy discussions, even as senators have both on the floor and off the floor, from ASIN, the passion of our majority floor leader, Senator Joel Villanueva, from ASIN to onions to eggs. Food security is a real threat. Another threat that we have is water scarcity. Already in some parts of the country, and in us in Metro Manila, we don't have. I mean, I know because I'm from the southern part of Metro Manila, in BF Homes Parañaque, which is a middle class subdivision. Wow, decades na yan, laging walang tubig at certain times of the day. And in Visayas and Mindanao, there are areas there that don't have electricity, that don't have water. These are serious threats to our daily existence and our productivity as a nation. And then third would be the effects of climate change. Senator Lauren Legarda delivered always is on top of this issue, delivered a privileged speech just this Monday. We have islands that are sinking. The homes of people can be gone, no, in a matter of decades. And then the draining of our human capital. All over the world, every day I see news about hospitals, about health workers going on strike in other parts of the world. No, countries that are richer than us, in the US, in the UK, hospitals that are in dire demand of health workers, schools that are in demand of teachers. Saan nila kukunin yon? Sa Pilipinas po. They will get they are getting our very valuable human resource for their own needs, not for ours, but for their needs. And karapatan naman po ng mga kababayan natin to go where their heart leads them, where they need to go. But these are clear existential threats, which I don't think any of our colleagues and our esteemed resource persons can deny. So my challenge, dear colleagues and to our resource persons, is how can we best use this human capital? Kasi when I read the bills, the narrative seems to be nga yung pagkaalam ko sa ROTC. I'd like you to educate me and tell me how these existential threats I mentioned will be addressed in that way. Because I would prefer, and this is a personal preference with all due humility, that we continue to invest in the education of our youth for STEM-related classes where they would be able to, STEM-related courses, where they would be able to develop our own strengths by way of ensuring that wala nang magugutom sa Pilipinas, by way of ensuring that we desalinate water, we filter water so that we have clean water. And tama naman yung mention ng disaster risk, no? But these are very specific skill trainings that are required. And I humbly submit that we will be taking away valuable hours that should be used, whether it's in the classroom or on the field, developing these skills that our youth, no, either already have or can be further honed, but not by way of military training per se. Now, on the issue of compulsory, narinig ko some of the comments of our dear colleagues, no, na you want a professional group, you want them to be dedicated. Pero the most professional and dedicated are those who choose it for themselves, no? Hindi yung mandatory na wala ka namang choice and you're forced to do something. Medyo mahirap to get dedication out of that. And then in terms of love of country and patriotism, I submit, no, that our men in uniform are patriots, are devoted to defend our country. But I also would like to forward the idea that when are we most united? Hindi ba ho when we watch sports? When we see the former Senator Manny Pacquiao defend his title, when we watch the Olympics, kahit po kaming mga senators cheering in the lounge, no, nag-break kami sandali just to cheer for EJ Obiena and the other Olympians. And I don't think anyone can question their dedication, their discipline. So kung ang pag-uusapan is discipline, and I know colleagues of ours who swear that they develop discipline through ROTC training, ako din, I swear that I develop my discipline through sports training as a varsity athlete. So there are different ways of developing discipline, Your Honors, no? And this is really like what I would just like to for us to determine when we come up with a bill that I don't think any of us will deny that the objectives are good. Developing discipline, love of country, patriotism, we all agree on that. But what is the way to get to that? That is something I feel that has to be explored further, deeper, because there is not just one way, Your Honors, no? So yan ang humble request ko na pag-aralan to, and tell me, I'm happy to sit down and discuss this further, because I'm really worried na at the rate our education system is going and we have improved, to take away valuable time from the students to do this when they could be still serving their country and maybe be more effective by pursuing the courses that are already available there. We have a shortage of nurses, no? We have a shortage of doctors. So mamamatay din ang mga kababayan natin from diseases when we don't have enough health workers to take care of them. I'd rather, with all humility, that they be working on their degrees to save lives than an existential threat. And I think the existential threat of being invaded And the skill requirement naman that will come out of a 2-year graduate will really not be, and again, with due respect, I don't know, I'm not an expert, to address that. Pero if we have doctors that are saving lives, I can assure you that they will save lives. If we have teachers who will teach better and come up with students that can address IT cyber attack, no? Our chairman was very active in the hearings on that, so with many other colleagues. Cyber attacks are real, but we cannot even begin to counter that if we don't have the expertise in those areas. Those are the areas I feel that are important for us to look into. So I rest my case there, Mr. Chairman. You know naman that I am I believe in healthy debates, and I am a team player. I would like to work on you with this. I hope, and by the way, with all due, I'm a graduate of APCSS, no, Asia Pacific Center for Security Studies. I was sponsored by the U.S. government to study in Hawaii, and ang classmates ko are karamihan civilian and many men, mostly men, pero alam ko may ladies din, wala lang akong classmate. My classmates were all men in uniform except for one other woman from Hong Kong. So my point is, yung studies namin doon, lahat were on soft security. Kasi these were the threats, no? Soft security is what I talked about, yung water scarcity, food scarcity, human lives being lost to health issues. And so that's the discussion that I'd like to be part of this. And on the last note, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me the time to express my views on this. I also take note that it's only the National Youth Commission that spoke on behalf of the youth. I believe that there are other youth groups who would like to speak also. Ang sa akin lang naman po, I've, having been a senator for, kakalimutan ko na kung gaano katagal, 13 years, the Senate has always, to my mind, been the best venue, no, for healthy exchange of ideas. So I hope that we would also be able to listen to them. I know it's the prerogative of the committee chair kung sino yung magsasalita, pero this changing, no, the 4 years or the 2 years that students are going to be in school, I think it's very important that we listen to them, including other experts, no, on developmental psychology, on education, because I'd really like to know if yung goals natin would be achieved through this manner. So yun lang po, Mr. Chairman, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor, Senator Pia Cayetano. Indeed, your contribution is very much valuable for the enrichment of these bills that we are considering in this hearing. And rest assured na yung isang concern mo about yung mga kabataan na hindi na natin naimbitahan, nandiyan ngayon sa labas ng ating Senado na nag-rally-rally ngayon, huwag po kayo mag-alala. Napakabilis lang mag-submit ng kanilang position paper. Kahit hindi namin hinihingi, nag-submit sila. So, we will read this and we will consider itong kanilang position paper para sa ating mga bills under consideration. Pakinggan po natin sila through this sinubmit ng mga position papers. And maybe next hearing, huwag po kayo mag-alala kahit na na-experience ko yung last time na binastos ako nung isang resource person natin na ngayon ay congressman na, hindi po ako nadadala doon. I'm still open. I am taking the cue from you na healthy discussion lang ating gagawin dito sa ating hearing. Huwag po kayo mag-alala. Imbitahan ko po yun na next hearing yung itong mga youth na sinasabi mo. Yun po, I am learning from you.
Mr. Chairman.
Pakinggan natin sila. Pakinggan natin talaga sila. Huwag kang mag-alala. It just so happen na yung kanilang intention to join this hearing dumating kahapon lang, late na. And we have already sent out all our invitations, kaya hindi sila naisama. Pero, andyan pa rin sila ngayon, parang nasa hearing lang rin sila dahil nasa labas man sila, nag-wawagayway na mga pulang bandila. Okay lang. Nandito ma'am, nandito yung kanilang mga position paper. Babasahin po natin ito. And we will consider everything. Huwag po kayo mag-alala. Thank you po.
Mr. Chairman,
Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
quick response. For the record, naalala niyo po, I was sitting beside you, and I even called out the resource person na tayo in the Senate, and you are one of them, Mr. Chairman. I've admired you. You are professional, you are respectful. So we demand nothing less from the resource persons, no? Your hearings are conducted in that manner, so I expect kung merong maiimbit, kasi syempre sa dami ng grupo, pipili kayo kung sino hong iimbitahan nyo, they will show that kind of respect that is demanded, and it's not requested, it is demanded of people who attend our hearings to come with respect. And ako personally lang, I prefer to have it in that hearing para, yun nga, may healthy discussion. Kesa sa yung, and this is just me, kesa sa yung one-sided lang yun nga, yung may naririnig lang akong mga sigaw kasi ano lang yun catch phrases lang yun mga, di ba, yung mga sound bites. No? I'd rather have a nice discussion kung ano yung malalim na mga concerns na pwede nating ma-elicit sa mga resource persons natin. Anyway, alam niyo na yan position ko dyan, Mr. Chairman. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Your Honor. Very, very vivid pa sa memory ko na hindi lang ako na high blood noon, pati ikaw, na high blood ka rin noon, pati yung ating chairman na si Senator Win Gatchalian ay nagalit rin nung panahon na yon. Kaya lahat tayo, we were all agitated by those comments. Parang binigyan tayo ng hindi magandang komento. But anyway, thank you for all your comments. Well taken po, Your Honor. Salamat po. From here, you want to say something, Senator Win?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I fully support your move to just focus on the ROTC in college for now. No, I think that is a wise decision because earlier on I heard NYC that there are tama po ba 13 million college age kids aged 18 to 24. No? These are college age, diba?
Just the population po.
13 million
13.9 million
in
po.
population of 18 to 24.
Yes po.
Correct. And I checked the latest CHED data. There are about 4.4 million students in college. So, in other words, there are about 9 million who are not in college. No, that's a sizable amount. No, so, and I agree with the chairman that let's focus first on the 4.4. Ayusin natin yan, and then later let's focus ourselves on the 9 million. No? Who are outside of the system. Dahil meron tayong outside of the system which is bigger actually than the ones inside the system. And that's what I was saying earlier. And I stand corrected. That's not 2 million but 9 million based of the latest data. There'll be two classes of citizens. One well-trained and one not trained at all. No? But we'll deal with that later on, Mr. Chair, as what you have laid out as your strategy.
Thank you, Senator Win. We're lucky enough. This committee is lucky enough to have Senator Win Gatchalian attending our hearings. Dahil pagdating sa numbers, talagang ma-scrutinize niya yan. Kaya salamat for that input. Indeed, napakalaki nga. Napakalaki talaga, hindi na-cover. Napakalaki. Kung hirap tayo ito ngayon sa yung na-cover na, you said, 4 million na mga estudyante, how much more doon sa 9 million na hindi enrolled? Napakalaking problema eh. So, napakalaking challenge ninyo. DND, AFP. Senator Pia, you want to say something?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes po, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, sorry, I didn't. Are you acknowledging me?
Yeah. Go ahead,
Thank you,
Senator
thank you.
Pia.
Okay. Reaction lang dun sa point ni Chairman Win Gatchalian, no? Precisely nga that there is such a big number of youth who are not in college. Those who are in college have made the choice to pursue a particular degree, whether it is in the sciences or yun nga yung demand natin, yung need natin for teachers, yung need natin for more health workers, not just nurses, doctors, no, but as I always say when we talk about the lack in healthcare, lahat po yan, radiologists, midwives, itong mga ang tawag dito, medtech, pharmacist, alam mo kulang tayo sa pharmacist ha. lahat po yan kulang. So parang for me lang po, Chairman Win in particular, kasi siya naman ang expert natin sa higher education, will be taking away time that they are dedicating to pursue these very specialized degrees. Samantalang here you have a bigger number who are not even pursuing these degrees. No, they may, of course, they are not for various reasons, but for some of them, talagang hindi na nila balak i-pursue yung higher degree na yan, hindi yan ang area of interest nila. Baka they should be the ones that we are offering these programs to, and not taking it away from, because like magdodoktor ka, tapos yung pre-med mo pa lang, napaka-importante yan sa'yo, kailangan mataas ang grade mo para makapasok ka sa med school. Things like that, Your Honor. I think I really want us to have a deeper understanding and study of what the effect of this program will have. So yun lang, to our two chairman. Salamat.
Thank you, Your Honor. Maraming salamat po. Kokopia, Attorney Christine, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for this. Just, I understand we're a bit pressed on time, so I'll be quick on just 2 points, Mr. Chair. First, you mentioned the incentives. Of course, we welcome this provision, and we hope that the incentives and the financial support as provided in the bills will also extend to the private education sector to make it more inclusive. On the second note, I remember, Mr. Chair, it was mentioned earlier about the possibility of creating a technical panel to help in the curriculum. I would just like to manifest that there is a provision on the technical panel in the House version, and perhaps the committee can look into it and consider the provision for the draft bills that we are discussing right now. And considering that the bill or the program will be involving or covering our higher education institutions, and also as one of the stakeholders, I would like to express po on behalf of Cocopea that we would like to help po to be part of the technical panel. We believe that, or I believe that we can provide valuable insight and perspective from the private education sector point of view, Your Honor. So, so I hope we can be a part of that. That is all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Salamat po sa iyong input. Napakatagal mo naghintay. Pasensya ka na.
It's okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next,
Thank you.
we want to hear from Paco Maya Hahala. Ma'am, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to first manifest that the Philippine Association of Colleges and Universities would be submitting its position paper on the working draft of the ROTC bill. Secondly, Mr. Chair, in light of academic freedom, we would also very much appreciate if the bill itself would already explicitly define the control or role that is to be given to and performed by the schools in implementing the program, apart from the schools being the venue, of course, as explicitly provided for in the working draft. Lastly, Mr. Chair, in connection with the second question, we would also like to know that what if anything happens to the students during the course of the training, do we expect the schools to be liable as well? Thank you very much.
Salamat po. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. We'll take in yung mga concerns mo. We will answer that next hearing. We will prepare for our answer to those questions. Pero ngayon, pwede ko naman i-answer diretso yan. Kung sino yung liable talaga, criminally liable doon sa pagkamatay ng estudyante, yun mananagot. Criminally. Administratively, may mga batas, may pertinent laws naman tayo na nagko-cover ng lahat ng mga pangyayari. So, anyway, we will prepare for that next meeting. Salamat po. Yes, we have grievance board. Grievance board, grievance committee.